Hello everyone, back again with Story Recap. Before we get to storyline, I wish all happy and great day. The film opens with Noah preparing to go on a date with a guy named Chad, whom she met through a dating app. This is the first time they meet. She was uncomfortable with this date. Chad took the leftover food with him and was acting strangely. After they left the restaurant, she told him that she was not happy with this appointment and did not wish to repeat it. He insulted her and left. After that, she goes and tells her friend Molly about what happened. And she also tells her that she will remain without a lover because she is looking for certain specifications. In the supermarket, someone tries to get close to her, and he actually manages to take her number in a nice way. She tells her friend about what she did in the supermarket and that the person she met is a nice person with a nice demeanor. Her friend warns her that this person is married or is deceiving her. After that, he sends her a text message asking to meet. Indeed, they meet at a nightclub. He introduces himself to her and tells her that his name is Steve and he works as a plastic surgeon. Noah tells him that her father died and her mother does not know her whereabouts. He tells her that he doesn't have any social media account. She told him that if she wanted to watch him, how would she do it? He told her that she should come home with him to find out. Indeed, she goes with him and they spend the night together. Before Steve wakes up, she takes a picture of him with her phone. While eating, she discovers that he does not like eating meat at all and that he only eats vegetables. He asked her in case she told anyone about him. She tells him that she told her friend Molly. After that, they have a great time. He suggested that they travel somewhere and he will surprise her. She feels happy because she will finally travel with someone she loves and get rid of her loneliness. But her friend Molly was worried and that something was wrong, and she warned her and told her that she should know where she was going before she traveled with him. She sends his picture to her so she can see how handsome and kind he is. After that, they drive to their destination. When he told her about the place they were going, she tried to tell her friend about it, but unfortunately, there was no network. After that, they continue their journey and reach a house. The house was big and scary for Noah. After that, he gave her a drink, but after a few moments, she lost consciousness. He was waiting for her to lose consciousness completely. She wakes up and finds herself in a room with her hands tied and Steve standing in front of her. She asked him to untie her and let her leave. He told her that he would not assault her, but would sell her flesh to the rich who needed fresh human flesh. He considers it as a commodity to him, whether it is meat or organs. The most important thing for him is that the meat is fresh, so he will try as much as possible to keep her alive even after he cuts her meat. He asks her not to do any stupid things so that he doesn't kill her. She tries to attack him, but because of her hand being chained, she can't reach him. He calms her down and asks her to behave well, because she will not see anyone but him in the coming period. Molly is worried about Noah and sends her a text telling her to call her. The message that Noah tried to send to Molly arrives after the network returns to her, and so Molly knew where her friend was. It was Steve who controlled Noah's phone and sent pictures to reassure Molly. Noah continues screaming in the room until she hears the voice of a kidnapped girl next to the room who tells her that no one will hear her voice. She told her that her name was Penny and that she met Steve and he took her to this place. And since she was alone and no one was asking about her, no one would find her. Noah finds out that she fell victim to Steve because she told him about her life and that her family does not exist. There was another girl also kidnapped named Melissa. They were trying to find a way to escape. Molly put the photo that came from Noah into the Google search engine. She discovered that this photo was a random photo and felt that something was wrong. So she tries to call her, but no one answers the phone. Steve was dancing and grabbing a human thigh to cut it off. He does the cutting, packaging, and shipping. Then he gives Noah food, but she tells him that she wants to take a shower. When he untied her, she tried to escape, but he caught her and beat her until she lost consciousness. After that, she wakes up on the surgical bed and he tells her that he will cut off part of her without her feeling pain because he is a professional doctor. Molly goes to the nightclub to look for her friend. Paul was her friend there, and she asks him to bring the name of the man who was with Noah because he paid the account through credit card. He later sends her the person's name. Molly manages to find his wife Anne's social media page and also finds out their home address. She went to the address and continued to monitor the place. She sent her live location to Paul so that he would know her movements in case something happened to her. She enters the house to meet Steve's wife, and she tells her that she suspects that her husband is having an affair with her friend Noah, who has disappeared, and that she cannot reach her. Anne is shocked and lets her into the house. Molly begins to tell her what happened to her friend and that she has suddenly disappeared. Anne tells her that she will go to the police herself to tell them that Noah has disappeared because she is sure that her husband has nothing to do with any other girl. Steve comes to the house and Molly tells him that she is a friend of Noah's and wants to know where she is, but he denied knowing any girl by that name. While Molly is out of the house, she calls her friend's phone, shockingly when the phone rings in Steve's pocket. Anne comes up from behind her and hits her on the head. After he locks up Molly, he goes to Noah to invite her to lunch so she can taste the fresh meat he sells to his customers. She asked him about the first time he tasted human food. He told her that the first time he tasted human flesh when he was 18 years old, he did not want to tell others that he liked human flesh until he discovered that there were a large number of people who looked like him. He told her that he only eats women's meat because they taste better, and also that there is an increasing demand in the market for women's meat. He cooks the meat in front of her and asks her to eat it. She asks him if what she will eat is her meat. He told her it was not her meat and to taste it without worrying. When she ate the meat, he told her that the cost of this meal was $30,000. After they finish eating, he takes her back to the room. Then he goes to Molly and takes her to cut her meat too. Noah tries to vomit food. After that, she continues to talk to Benny and tells her that she wishes to see her. It turns out that Benny has been locked up for a long time. Noah pretends to like Steve in order to get closer to him and thus escapes from the place. The next day, he comes to her and brings her a dress for her to wear because he wants to invite her again to dinner because he had enjoyed her company before. She wears the dress and waits for him. Anne was sending messages, but he ignored it because he wanted to spend the night with Noah. He takes her with him to the dining table and handcuffs her so that she does not run away. She asked him which girl's meat they would eat, and he told her it was Melissa's. She tells him her tastes as bad as her name, and she doesn't enjoy the food. She asked him if he had invited Melissa to eat. He shows her a secret place behind a large painting, as this place contains the personal belongings of girls he kidnapped. This is because customers want to feel close to the girls they eat, and this is because they will become a part of them after they eat them. Every customer likes to keep a certain thing from the girl. She continued looking at what was there until she found her friend's belongings. Then she asked him about her personal belongings, and he told her that he was the one who kept her personal belongings. She sees a place where all the girls' phones are. Then they go back to finish eating, and she continues to keep up with him and pretend that she likes him. She told him that this was the first time someone had cooked for her and treated her like this. After that, she cries and tells him that she is crying because she is distracted and that she has more than one feeling inside her. He approaches her and tells her not to be afraid because she is different, and that is why he treats her in a way that is distinct from other girls. Then they dance together and get close to each other. Until they went to Steve's room, all she was doing was convincing him that she liked him in order to get a chance to escape. Indeed, she succeeds in hitting him in the face as she puts toothpaste on his eyes. She escapes from the room and closes the door on him, then takes the keys to open the doors for the rest of the girls who are locked up. She found Molly and Penny. Steve breaks the room door, leaves the room, and approaches where Penny is hiding. Before he could approach her, Noah and her friend attacked him, beating him and fighting him until they managed to beat him and get out of the house towards the woods. But he was behind them and trying to chase them with a gun. Paul arrived at the location because it was the last location sent from Molly's phone. Steve continues to chase them until he reaches Noah's location. But before he can shoot her, Molly and Benny attack him from behind and kill him. Anne also arrived at the place and found her husband dead. Noah was looking for the phone that she took from the house, and it fell from her. But suddenly, Anne takes on the role of the victim and tells Noah that she too was kidnapped. Suddenly, she attacks Noah in order to kill her, but fortunately, Molly reaches her and helps her to get rid of her. After that, they sit under a tree to rest from the suffering that happened to them. Don't forget to support me with the like and subscribe buttons. Stay tuned for more film recaps.